Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Rebellion. So, earlier I did a whole video on how to actually operate um, along how to do operations and your missions and everything else. And today I'm going to cover actual missions for Phase 1. This video is a how to combat mission, special mission, Phase 1. So let's get right into it. I will be starting over here on Mustafar. Let's start with Lord Vader right off the bat. Um, the only one that you could use here is Lord Vader, and I'm just gonna put it this simply. Um, it is this simple. I'm gonna hit C, and I'm gonna let it go. This event, Lord Vader just handles on his own. He doesn't need any help or nothing. It's just a simple auto. Um, I did it on my alt account or my main account, which Vader is at Relic 5 with with 4 of his Zetas and very minimal mods and no alt, and he still cleared this with no issue. I just autoed that too, so it doesn't take a whole lot to do for this one. So full on auto, let it go. And although Obi-Wan could ramp up quite a bit of health and everything, he's just not going to outdo Vader here. I wish I could fast forward this, but we're just gonna watch Vader just going to town, keeping his health up. He's got 58 stacks. A little bit of health block, but it disappears quick, and when he does have that health block, Obi-Wan just can't do it quick enough to beat him. We're at 60 stacks, and then this is where it caps out for Anakin, and this should be it right here. Done. Full auto, just let it go. Vader cooks, and 200,000 points right there. So that's Vader. Next, we're going to come over to this combat mission, the far left one. We're going to Grand Inquisitor this. But we're going to Inquisitor this. I do know that obviously this requires Third Sister, but we're just going to let this one go. Obviously, when you're building these teams, the first one, when you get Grand Inquisitor, the first one to get the boot is Second Sister. You don't need her at all. And then after you get Reva, Ninth Sister gets booted from the team. Those are your 2 to go. So this is the team we're going to use. We're going to use Third Sister up here, Grand Inquisitor, Fifth Brother, and this one requires a little bit of finagling. What you want to do is you want to get right after Droideka. Get right after him. We'll throw it over here. Alright, and once Droideka's gone, auto. Reva's gonna do enough, and they're just gonna have the firepower to just take care of everything. So once Droideka's out of the picture, it's all gravy from here. Almost through round 1. Alright, on to step 2. If you'd like to direct anybody here, obviously getting out the B2s would be helpful, which I think I'm going to actually jump on B2 as soon as we can. Because that B2's hurting. Alright, they're both out. So getting rid of those B2s are critical. The only thing I really did was I put that health on the sister here. Third sister. Just so that way we could get a little bit of healing back up, and she was good. Or fifth sister, whatever sister this is here. This one. Alright, second attack with Newt. Alright, and that's an easy 200k. This one here. So up top here. This one on the left. We're going to run a separatist. It is... Where is my trench? We're gonna take trench off the bench. And I'm just going to take him up to Relic 7, just because I do think that Trench has a lot of value. So I'm going to take him up. You could do this at 5, but I'm just going to take him up because this is where I want him. So back in here. Over to Mustafar. There is my trench. Don't need that here. Put a Zeta on. I'm not gonna do any of his Omicrons, just his Zetas. So we have a Zeta and decent mods. Alright, so we're gonna go Trench, Dooku, Newt, Watt, and Alpha. So this team works pretty good here. we're gonna get in here. We want to put the... This one's gonna take the most finagling. Uh, when you get in here, you want to put the tank. So you want to put this tank over on Brood Alpha, but first you want to put the biotic weapon mod. You want that over on Nuke Gunray. So that's first and foremost. Let's take out the B2. Let's put the extortion on him. So that's your special one here. Put some extortion. And then you want to take your tank one and you want to put it on the tank over here. The thing that the Geonosian that gets spawned in, that's where you kind of want that. So as soon as he has his protection, he'll just keep having taunt while he has protection. So once those couple things are met, once you have that text, the extortion, the 2 texts on those two, we're just going to keep going here. Get back over to Watt. As soon as we get back over to Watt. Alright, so we're going to take the med pack and we're going to put this on Brood Alpha. And then auto. So this one takes a little bit of setting up. You just got to get those med packs on and those other packs on where they need to go, being those three characters, and then just auto. Get rid of B2 first, and then Droidica, and everything just falls into place. The big thing is just making sure that you get those put on the right people. Alright, there's phase 1. Phase 2. Alright, we lost our Brute. And Dooku. It's looking a little... It'll still work, but got a little bit dicey there. If you want to try to go after Brute, or the Brute Alpha, go try to keep that target on him. But generally with the Geonosians, once you take out the couple pieces of them, they just fall. Not looking good, not looking good. Alright, we're gonna extort. He's still got his mind on him. Let's get a revive. Bring back Trench. Good dodge, good dodge. Ugh. All right, so we got 100, but this will work. Again, everything isn't like fully set in stone, but that does work. Generally, 8 out of 10 times you'll get that to work. This one is pretty straightforward. This one I'm just going to Java. No, Java's the other one. So this one we want to Night Sister. Right? Yeah, Java is the middle. So this one we wanted Night Sister. And that is your Mother Talzin, Old Daka, Zombie, Asajj, and Marin. Generally, these are your teams. You're usually always gonna do. And auto. Just like everything else, you're gonna want to take out B2 because it has AoE, and then preferably Droideka. Phase 1 is very, very autoable. They're Night Sisters. They're just gonna do what they do. They're gonna die, come back. Got a lot of plague out there. Okay, so minus that one little bit um, up here with the Separatists, which we had it going pretty good. Just that one little drop. So we're gonna do the Scythe one. Um, we're gonna try Leviathan. We're going to go B28. So we want the B28 and the B28 Scythe and the Mark 6. And then generally you want the trying to remember what it is. Mark 6, Fury class, Vader, Fury class, Vader, Dorito, Sith. So this is what you kind of want to do. The mission unit is the Scythe, so you want B28 and Mark 6. And then you want Malgus here, which you can't see because he's behind me. Vader, Dorito, Sith. And this one is still, even if you're playing it, a tough one to do. The big thing that you want is you kind of want these two to tank it as much as you can, and then as much stacks as we could get over here on the B28. But we're just going to do this. Start the whole process and hit auto. And again, even playing this is not going to be a 100% of the time auto, but this should be what you kind of want to do. We want the B28 to kind of like tank all this and take all the hits. So them hitting there is the best option for us. And what's going to happen is we're going to take out the hangers, so now they can't get anybody. So what they have is what they have. There's going to be no more bombers jumping in. And then in the next turn or two, you're going to see us bring out the other shit. There's Vader. And then when the next ability becomes available, we could actually start dropping those hyenas and they could start working for us, and we could start getting every all the buzz droids and everything on them. We just gotta hope they hold out. There we go. Now we're gonna start to see buzz droids come for us. As long as Vader stays alive. And we could start slowly ticking. Alright, so that was the whole premise of it. We just didn't get very lucky with it, unfortunately. But everything was going right. Again, even doing this personally, it's still going to be a not 100% of the time. Tonight just happens to be one of the night that RNG doesn't want to go my way. So that is all of Mustafar. That's how we want to do it in a nutshell. This is all the battles explained, and again, RNG didn't go our way with the Separatists. They should have. As soon as you get into phase 2, it should be audible and it should just be auto. Same again. The Leviathan is still not a full thing, even with auto. But we're gonna come over to Corellia and starting down here. What you want to do here, I don't have these two up. I'm not gonna take the time to do this, but what you want to do here is you want to do Rey, L3, and Cat, and those three will just auto. Like, you don't have to do anything, just auto, Rey, Cat, and L3. So again, it's just to show Rey. Make sure you put Rey in here. Wherever they are. Cat, or that's Fulcrum. Where's Cat? There's Cat. So there. And then L3 is somewhere. Where are you, L3? There he is. So L3 again. So these three together will just do it for you with no issue. We're gonna jump over here, and there's two ways you could go about this. This one is very much one of the ways I primarily do this on my other account, my smaller account, is CLS. That team, what you can do is you can basic, literally just basic the beginning of it, like phase one, just basic through phase one. And then the big thing is making sure that I'll show you which units to get in a minute here. Um, just basic that I'll show you the order again in a minute, but basic through phase one, auto through like whatever phase two. Um, Same kill order and everything. But this one is I'm good. I haven't tried this counter, mainly because have always CLS this, so this is gonna be my first time trying this one. Um, but I wrote it down. Where is it? C. Revan, Malgus, Malik, and Nihilus is the fifth. This unit, again, I haven't done this one. I've always CLS'd it. So I will kind of walk you through the kill. This one I could just auto from what I've seen. But the kill order is take out the TIE Fighter pilot and then scout. After that, these three don't really matter. Those are your big ones. So I'm just going to, for the sake of it, auto. And C alone should carry this whole team. It's what GLs are supposed to do. It's not exactly following my kill order, because as I said, TIE Pilot and then Scout would be the next one to go, but... But then when we get to phase 2, I'll show you how I kind of do it for phase 2 with CLS. Alright, let's get over on TIE Fighter Pilot. Scout. Alright, so again, if you're trying this with CLS, the way I do it is I take out TIE Fighter Pilot, and then I go Imperial Officer, Scout, and then these three are kind of just whatever. So we'll auto it again. That's generally my order of Pilot, Scout, or Pilot, Officer, Scout, sweep through or whatever. You killed Revan. Alright. There's alt. Nope, jump over here. Take out Scout Trooper. Man, they just don't want to stay on that trooper. Let's get back on trooper. Again, it's okay to guide some of these, but the auto, it's just easier to hit auto and set your phone down and then kind of let it go. And there we go, there's that one. A little bit harder than I used to do a CLS. A CLS is just so easy. Again, this is trying to save Commander Luke for somewhere else. That's why we didn't go that route. This was, again, one that I haven't done, but I'm trying to save CLS for the light side. So, next we're going to go Afra. This one could get a little bit trickier. With this one, you want Vader. You want your... Where are they? You want your BT1, you want 000, and then you want... Again, a lot of people put Chrysanthemum with Hut Cartel, and normally I am a 99% of the time I have Jabba with or Chrysanthemum with Hut, just because he's that good. However, in this case, we're gonna put Chrysanthemum here for some survivability, and Jabba doesn't need him. Jabba is a one-man wrecking crew, and he just doesn't need him. So we're going to do this, and it should be just a full autoable thing. Again, I'm just going to guide this. Just because this one could be a little bit trickier. But Chrysanthemum's here to kind of keep everybody going. Alright, coming into phase 2. We're gonna jump on the Imperial Officer. Starting to get a little sketchy, so we just lost Vader. And Afra's down, and that's not good. As I said, this one's this one's sketchy. Even with Chrysanthemum here, we still lost it. This is a terrible RNG night for me, apparently. Yeah, so this one we're going to... Jabba, please don't let me down. Obviously, going for the Hut Cartel. This is Jabba's usual mission. So we're going to go here, Boba, Embo, and Lando. Normally I would have Chrysanthemum here instead of Boba Fett. Jabba really doesn't need much of the help. He's that good. And then something good to know about this is actually the thing that I love about Java, and I'm keeping it on. You can full auto this. I'm keeping it off because I don't want him to use his alt yet. Um, because as you'll see, what I love about about Java is when you get your one of his abilities is when you go up to the next tier, anybody who dies, so if we lost Boshlea or Boba or anything, um, they just come back. So you start the next phase once you hit contract with uh, everybody. So losing somebody here isn't a big deal. Because we would just get him back right here anyway. I saved his alt because he would have used that, and we're just gonna just eat Kira. Just gone. Bye. Han's gone. And again, this is a full autoable thing. I just wanted to save his alt. You could auto it until you get it gets close, and then this one we were never in any danger of. Even getting it down to just Jabba, even just Jabba, he'll auto this, and then you get to this, and then everybody's back anyway. And eat. Alright, and then down here, we're going to, this is a Landos Falcon. We're going to Executor this. With this one, we want to have Houndstooth and Razor Crest. So you want Houndstooth, Razor Crest, and then you want... You could toss Punish in one in here. This is just how I've always like seen it done. So this one is very, very much a auto. The Executor will beat this on its own. No worries here at all. And even if we lose the Falcon, it's no big deal. Actually, kind of losing the Falcon would be kind of optimal, because then you could... There we go. Now we could get another bounty hunter in there. It'll probably be Boba Fett. And he's got all those AoEs, so... Not a bad thing. And we just hit contract, so... There's Boba. Done. Easy Executor win. And that's 400,000 points. So again, RNG does play into some of these, like the affirmation, unfortunately. And then not having Kira and Han up and running for this one. Which again would have just been Rey and then done for. So that's kind of how you go about this. Pretty easy concept. This one's straightforward. Just when you're trying to go up against those Imperials, you just want to take out the pilot, the TIE pilot first. because he could kind of cause issues and then work your way from there. Now over to Coruscant. This one is the trickiest of them all. This is the toughest one. So just kind of be prepared for this. We'll start over here. The way I've seen it done is you use Padme, and then you take your Bad Batch, the OG Bad Batch, and Alba Afra, or Alba Omega, toss them in, and kind of just let it go. Again, because it is Coruscant and it's a little bit trickier, you could guide it to go after the medics. So whenever you could, get it over to the medics. Medics could be tricky. Your big ones are the medics and your leader here. Alright, I'm the leader. That's okay. That's okay. Take him out. Take him out. Okay. That's optimal. And when you get to this back phase, you're gonna see that there's 2 medics. So you kind of want to jump between the whoever you could just to get these out. So we got that taunt on. We want that taunt to go away. Come on, we want that taunt to go away. Alright. Jump over on this medic. Come on, go after the medic. Alright, 1 medic down. So now it's kind of a race to get the second one out. Alright, take the leader down. That's okay too. Alright, medics back up. And there we go. Auto. As I said, Coruscant's a little tricky with all the medics and everything, so just guiding it helps out a lot. Over here, what we're going to do is we're going to... This is why I saved Luke. So obviously you're going to want R2 and Drogon. And then you want C-Rex and CLS. This one is very much a let Leia handle it. She is very, very well equipped for this. If you want to guide it. But between Luke and Rex, there's a lot of stuns here. So this one is very much a let Leia take the wheel. Again, I like to direct just because I'm very much I like to take out the medics. It would have been nice if that came to start the next phase, but we'll take it. And again, you're gonna see two medics, but a lot of stuns here between between Luke, Rex, and even R2's basic. See, that's one already down. Alright, jump over on this other one. They're all dead, and boom. Leia is Leia. This one could get a little bit tricky. Again, it's all Jedi, so this one is not really the best. So you want your Jedi Master Luke. You want your Jedi Knight Luke. You want Jedi Knight Cal, and I don't have his Omicrons here. Obviously, his Omicrons are going to help immensely, but I don't have them on this one. You want Revan, and then you want Revan and Hoda. Who? Yes. So this is my standard team. The only difference that I have in here, other than my standard Luke, is Jedi Knight Cal Kestis is usually Grandmaster Yoda. So this is going to be your Jedi. The one that's going to pull a lot of weight here is going to be Revan. So again, we'll auto it. Phase 1 is a very autoable day. Stuns galore. Take them out. Done. And then you want to go after the clone commander. Alt for Master Luke. Man, Luke's just throwing those down. And then same as before, we're going to get the medic here. So the thing to know about Vader is he can't die if there's another ally. So again, go after your medic first. Let's get rid of those revives. And then once the medic is done, we could kind of pick apart everybody else. Get rid of the ARC Trooper. Get over here on the commander. And then once they're all down, just write it on Lord Vader. And done. Alright, and then this one is, again, Kit Fisto. I'm only going to take him to Relic 5 just so I could show you the fight. I would do it for Kira and Young and Han too, but I don't want to use up that much signal data to do 2 characters to Relic 5. I used up a lot of signal data today to do these guys, so now we'll get in here, we'll do this fight. You want Kenobi, you want Mace, Kenobi, Kit. Obviously, those are the ones you're kind of stuck with. And then you want Kiadimundi and Snips. So this is going to be your second Jedi team. Again, this is a autoable one. Guided autoable. Snips is going to do a lot of the work along with Master Kenobi. It's going to be primarily Kenobi doing all the work, but Snips does quite a bit too. Snips is good. She's a good character. The big thing is going to come in phase 2. There's a little bit different of a kill order than the previous stages. It's not a huge drastic one. Come on, get over here. Take out the medic. Edit. Alright, medic's down. Take out the commander. The royal guards are kind of whatever. Okay, going into phase 2. Things get a little bit different here. Obviously, you got the medic. You're going to want to take out the medic. So the kill order in here is Anakin first. I know you always go after the medic, but Anakin has that AoE, and that could be decimating to Kit Fisto and a lot of the squads. You want to keep that AoE to a minimal. So just kind of guide it to Anakin, get Anakin out, and then after Anakin, you want to take out the medic. Just because you want that AoE to stay away. Get over to Anakin. Alright, Anakin's out. Go for the medic. Anakin's not out. Go for the medic. And then the big difference between Anakin's AoE and Sidious's AoE is Anakin's AoE prevents, like, Anakin alone, but with his basic, prevents you from healing. It's a healing immunity, and you want to get rid of that. So now we just kind of let it go. You guided it to the medic, you guided it to Anakin, and even if Sidious picks off the Jedi here, Kenobi's gonna be the one to save it. And there we go. And then for the fleets, this one is obviously Profundity. We'll get rid of these. Get rid of that. You want Hans. So your big ones here are gonna be your Ghost and the Phantom. So you want the Ghost and the Phantom. You want the U-Wing. And where's Biggs? Which one's Biggs? Is this Biggs? Yes, that one's Biggs. Alright, so you want the U-Wing, you want Biggs, you want the Phantom and the Ghost, and then obviously you're normally going to go Han and the Outrider. This is a normal profundity fleet. Y-Wing is the required. Wait, where's Y-Wing? Why didn't I put Y-Wing in here? Y-Wing, you want Y-Wing. That was my goof. I thought Y-Wing was the special mission. Um, let's bring in... Let's bring in Biggs. Alright, and generally if you have the Y-Wing in here, it is just a auto. It's not a huge deal. We'll get rid of everything on Biggs just because we want to keep him alive. Alright, we'll get rid of the fleet. So that's gone. Start the data transmission. Now at least we only got to worry about this. Bring in the ghost. Take you out. Go for the Y-Wing. Alright, so even with that mess up, because again, Y-Wing, you want him there. Obviously, he's a better tank than anything, especially with Profundity. With Profundity, outside of those three, you could call Biggs in and everything, but you really don't need the extra help with them. So that is very, very much a autoable thing with the Profundity. So there we have it. That's Coruscant in a nutshell. So earlier, as I said, you want to fill ops. That's gonna give you those extra abilities. I didn't use any today because this is a video on how to do these missions, so I didn't want to toss in those extra bonus stuff on top. I could later, if that's a video. You can let me know down below if that's anything you'd be interested in. But this is how to do it. I know that we did drop a couple because of bad RNG. They are very doable, very autoable. It's just getting the right survivability and everything on some of these teams and actually staying alive a lot of the time. So RNG does play a huge part, especially with that Leviathan mission. Uh, but there we have it. Now after that, you just go and you deploy everything and done. Yes, I know they're required somewhere else. There we go. That's how you do day one. So I hope this video helped. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Remember to like and subscribe. As a new YouTuber, it helps me grow immensely when we actually get subscribers, especially on lives we could redirect. to other content creators out there. So getting to that point to do that would be pretty big. Um, so thank you all for watching. Thank you all for coming out. Uh, I really hope this is beneficial to you guys. And remember that rebellions are built on hope.